You know, I've been mentioning the sea surface temperature, the buoy in Panama City Beach, how it's so warm. Waters are so warm at the coast. Is that unusual for this time of year? Here's meteorologist Zack Webster.
Summertime means more than just air temperatures will be on the increase over the next few months. We'll also see the Gulf waters out along the Gulf Coast start to turn a little bit warmer as well. Here's a look at what the Gulf water temperature has looked like at Panama City Beach on June 17th over the last 10 years. And for the most part, these temperatures have generally been between around 82 and 84 degrees. A couple of those cooler years, 2021, when it was 79 degrees and the water temperature was all the way down to 74 degrees back in 2016. However, our last 2 years, 2024 and 2025, a couple of our warmest years that we've seen on June 17th, 85 in 2024 and 87 in 2025. A warmer Gulf can help influence some of our weather some. We've already seen some of the effects of that. Warmer Gulf waters leads to more warm and moist air over the Gulf, and as that warm and moist air moves inland, it can help spark off some more of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms like what we've seen over the last several afternoons.
I knew it. I feel like we need 30 minutes now to break down the last 10 years because a few things. First of all, back in the 20-teens, we had a lot of May and June tropical systems in the Gulf that stirred up the water. Haven't seen that this year. And that warmer water can lead to algae blooms maybe early in the season. That's an issue.
I didn't even think about that. And what we've been really talking about is if that warm water wants to stay and nothing really stirs it up, good fuel for tropical systems.
For sure.
And allowing them to build up.
Yeah, absolutely. That is something to watch. One of the themes as we go through hurricane season. Speaking of, we were thinking along those same lines today. So here's a look at sea surface temperatures across the Gulf. And yeah, 87 along the coast here, some 88s out there in the Gulf, that loop current coming in from the Caribbean. But even away from that loop current, a lot of 84s, 85s, 86s out there.
I was about to say, yeah, the farther you get out to the Atlantic too, definitely cooler, but I kind of like to see how the Gulf, because it's kind of closed off, it allows for that warmth to build a little bit more than far out in the Atlantic.
For sure. And the loop current is this current that comes in from the Caribbean through the Yucatan Channel between the Yucatan and Cuba. It goes northward. Some of that curls back to the east, some curls back to the west, but it creates this really, really warm pocket of water over the central Gulf. And one of the reasons we've seen that water get so warm so early is sunshine. I mean, there's just not been much cloud cover out there in the Gulf, so every single day, long days, a lot of daylight, all that sunshine just being absorbed by the surface of the water out there. And boy, it is really impressive. You mentioned the fact that that's a lot of energy for tropical storms and hurricanes. This is something you don't see too often. Ocean heat content. So this accounts for how much energy basically is in the waters and the depth of that warm water. And notice that bullseye right there in the central Gulf.
Yeah, exactly. It really highlights where those 88s were, just along that loop current. And I mean, we have this avenue for much of the Caribbean where you have these warmer waters. So later in the season, if this doesn't change much, that could be trouble.
That could be trouble. Yeah, I would not be surprised to see some active weather for several periods as we go through the peak of hurricane season in the Gulf.